Hey, Peeps Galucia here, and today I needed to catch you up on Factorio because I actually was working on Factorio. I recorded about 30 minutes of it, and then afterwards, when I had to go over the recording, I was like, I am not happy with that. Something got crazy with my microphone settings, and it just did not look right at all. So, rather than give you subpar footage that would have been annoying to listen to, I figured I'll just catch you up. But I am actually planning on showing you the majority of what goes down in Factorio. So, this time we do have to skip ahead a little bit, but hopefully in the future that will not be the case. Let me make some lights here. So, let's get you caught up on everything that's going on. Let's start with the research. Obviously, right now we're working on advanced electronics. So in the beginning, we had just started with logistics and steel, advanced material processing, and automation, which that was the big one, the automation, so that I can get everything going automatically. But now, obviously, automation 2, which requires electronics, the optics, and I did get turrets as well as military, because I do need to start thinking about the military, because we are set to normal settings. The aliens are going to start attacking us pretty soon as the pollution rises. I don't have a radar yet, but let's open up the map, hit Alt, and you can see the difference in color there. That's the density of the pollution, and as that spreads out and towards other places where the aliens are going to be or whatever, they're not going to be happy that we're polluting their neighborhood, and they're going to start showing up. So I really need to start thinking about that and working that out. So I expanded on the iron. We needed more of it, and so obviously, as you can see, I got 5 drills. We've advanced to the steel furnaces, so those are chugging away, as well as a single line of furnaces just to make steel. I don't need it automated in anything yet. It's just, you know, getting started with it, and later on that'll have to be a larger production. We're going to have to expand on the iron greatly in the future. A radar is actually a very good idea because we need to find more. So let's, that's on the military, that's right. So let's make one of those. Oh, and we just finished advanced electronics. How about that? Let's, well, need blue before I can even start really messing with that. Okay, so I'm going to kind of reverse engineer things. Whenever you decide you need something, you can click on that something and then kind of work your way backwards. So I need to eventually be able to make the Science Pack 3, the blue as I refer to it, which, and this will tell you, okay, that requires sulfur. Alright, so I need sulfur. Well, if you need to make sulfur, then you're going to need oil processing. Alright, I need oil processing. And that's the next one that we can actually get a hold of and research. So let's go ahead and research that. And we're going to need an advanced automation 3 to actually make the blue. Some of those recipes are pretty complicated, but we'll get around to that. So, yeah, expanding the iron is going to be a big deal, so hopefully the radar will find some of that for us. I've expanded on the steam engines. As you can see, I've got a lot of burners lined up there, and I've got 5 engines and then a pipe going underground, so it goes below my belt here to the next engine. And I should have enough steam engines here, or boilers rather, that I can add a bit more. You'll see this one is below temperature. The farther down the line you get, the colder they actually are. So you can see this one is just starting to get cold. And this one is just about not firing. So I would say at least one, because I've got 6 now. I would say at least one more, maybe 2. And then that'll be maxed out. And we are actually getting pretty close to maxing out our power grid when everything is churning like it is now, because I'm making all my science packs. So then down here, did not have to expand much. I made all of these steel furnaces, but as you can see, a lot of the times they're not even firing, especially these earlier ones, because they just sit there dormantly and they're totally full of copper. But I will occasionally just grab it rather than taking it out of the chest. I'll take it out of the furnace because that way it'll run a little bit. So I haven't worried about expanding that beyond the 3 that it has, because I just didn't see the need. So let's get into the automation. The other stuff, the coal production, the stone gathering, none of that was updated. So the automation was the big deal because we just started it in the last episode, and it was a long, complicated process that you completely missed out on. So we'll just go down the line here. Obviously, the goal is to make red and green, which is what we're doing. So I've got 2 machines making red. These 2 are assembly machine 2 are making red. And so to make red, and again, when you're doing your automation, you just, look something up, red. Okay, I need copper and iron gear wheels, and then you figure out how you're going to do that in automation. So this is making my, actually I'll hit Alt, and that'll really sum it all up for you. This is making my iron gear wheels, so they're being directly fed into this, which is also taking copper off the line and then shooting it up there. The rest of the gear wheels are going onto this assembly line underneath that one and over to here, so that this red assembler can grab the wheels and the copper, as you just saw it do, and spit it out on this line. And then I looped it underneath and around rather than just going directly into the belt, because I needed all of the red on the left side of the belt, so that when the green makes its way over here, it goes to the right side of the belt, and that way they're all fed in. So then next was I needed to make green. A little bit more complicated of a recipe. It needs transportation belt and inserters. So then you go over to there. The transportation belts take iron plate and the wheels, those are the easy ones, and then the inserters take the gears as well, plus plate and electronic circuits, which the electronic circuits have their own recipe, plates and copper cables. So once again, I have I don't like to overtax things, even though I already make the gear wheels over there. I have another gear wheel here, because if you start stretching out the gear wheels too thin or anything, it's providing gear wheels to too many other assembly machines. It just can't keep up. So this one's also directly feeding into here to make the transportation belts, along with the plates that it takes off the assembly line. And then again, it puts it onto here and goes underneath. These are making the copper wire, which are being directly fed into here, which again with the plates is making the circuits. The circuits are being directly fed into here, which along with the plates and the gear wheels are making the belts. Not the belts, what the hell am I talking about? The inserters, thank you. So then, and as you can see, we have a hold up here. Let's take a look at that. We are having a problem with our iron plate production, and you can see that it's, because this is at the end of the line. All these other things, that's taking iron plates, that's taking iron plates, that's taking iron plates, that's taking, and it's like, so it all adds up, and none of the plates are getting to here, and you can see how limited it is. There are some inserters at the end of the line here. Oh, and this one was I never set the recipe for this one. Well, that's embarrassing. That was the last one I built, and I never set the recipe. So, which explains why there were a bunch of inserters at the end of the line that never got sucked up. But yeah, so as you can see, not a lot of iron is making its way down here. We will have to fix that. But that's how you do it. You look at the whole big picture and you say, what is missing out of this? So, so I had to send these way down this belt, and then these ones were able to go up into it. So again, they're doubled up on the line, as you can see at the end. So all of these gobble it up and then spit it out. So I was able to loop that belt all the way around and then come up to here. And for now I'm doing 5 because I didn't really feel like I could keep up with more than 5 right away. Not until I was able to expand on my production. Wow. So, I think what I'll do for now is all you gotta really do to increase. Well, shoot, that's already full, so that shouldn't even have. Oh, well then, yeah, and you can see now that it's going way down. See, what I had was the arm filling that chest so that I would have iron just to grab, and then the rest of it would go down the automation line, but the arm was taking too much of it, obviously, and that's where the problem was coming into place, I think. It looks like it's a little bit better, but we do need to expand on that. But we built a radar dish, so let's go ahead and slap that down. We'll just put it here. It seems like it's pretty much out of the way. So the radar dish, and you can see it already cleared a section of the map there. But the radar dish will slowly start to clear out the map, and then we can figure out where there's more good sources of iron. You can see where we can see right now. We know that there's a bunch of coal out there, a little bit of copper, some stone, and then tons of oil. So when we're ready for that, that's where our oil will come from. You can see down here there's some iron, but that's kind of precarious because the bottom is our assembly for the copper. So we'd have to figure out how we want to get the iron from down there to fit in with our automation the way that it is. But yeah, so that's the deal. Ooh, it looks like we are officially, with the radar dish, overpowered now. So let's go ahead and build another steam engine, and that way we can see what kind of effect that's going to have, because I'm not sure if we can keep that up or not. But yeah, so that was the main thing. I really just wanted to get you all caught up today. I think from here, the biggest things that I'm going to have to do is I'm going to want to get working on oil production and expanding on the iron, and that'll be like my two biggest goals. The oil production is going to be a big deal. Alright, we got everything running. Let's see. That's down temperature, but that's not, and that is now actually being utilized. So, maybe we could add an eighth, and that would be the max. How many do we actually have burners? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 burners. Is it 1 burner per engine? Is that efficient enough? I mean, eventually I can just create another power plant, but for now I was just trying to keep adding on to that. And of course, eventually I just switch to solar anyway and just make giant solar fields. That's how I like to power everything. Giant solar fields with accumulators. But so, as I said in the map, you can see there's a couple random spots of oil right here and right here, but there's a giant cluster of it out there. And I think that may actually be under a forest. Let's go investigate that really quick as we wrap up today's video. So, obviously I'm working on oil processing now, and then I need to work on sulfur. I need to work on the Advanced Automation 3. There's a lot of things that need to come into place to make that all work. So, how much more stone is that? 1.8 thousand. It's not bad. So there's plenty to do, and the biggest thing is the research is just time consuming. It just takes a while to actually complete it. Oh, good. Speaking of which, so let's go ahead. No, not flammables. Sulfur. We want sulfur. See, that's 100. The last one was 50, and you saw how long that took, and this one's freaking 100. I was worried when I saw that cluster of oil that it would be like under a forest, but it's not at all. I thought I was going to have to come over here and clear tons of trees, and there's like 4 dead trees, and that's literally it. Look at all this oil. Like, this is ridiculous. We don't need even remotely this much oil. So, oh, that's going to be amazing. That's going to be the best oil production site I've ever had. I'm really going to work at that. Oh, you see the radar is starting to clear more stuff out. There's more oil up there, and yep, radar dish getting to work. So that is a really, really awesome oil field. And now I can technically make pump jacks and all kinds of stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on that. First, I'm going to do this, though, because I meant to do this like forever ago. Make myself a submachine gun. Yeah. Because I'm telling you, that they're going to come soon. And in the beginning, I'm going to be running around like an idiot shooting them all myself while I frantically try to build a bunch of gun turrets and figure out how I'm going to make all that work. But let's just do that so I have a better gun. But yeah, the pump jacks take forever to build, and then we got to build a refinery, which takes forever, and all of these things take tons of electricity, which is another thing to consider. And there is water over here. So I think, I mean, eventually, of course, it'll all be interconnected, but making another power station over here would actually be a really good idea. And there is some coal not that far away. If I set the power station up on the other side of this, I could have that coal automatically fed in, and then I just need to run the power lines around to the oil pumps and then link them up with the stone quarry. That's a pretty big project. So I think what I'll do is I'll finish recording, and what I'll do is a lot of those things I just said, I'll start making them, because they all take time to make. And then after I finish crafting all that stuff and just standing here and letting everything continue to automate, and I'm crafting all that stuff, then we can start up with the next episode where I have to lay all that stuff down, and you'll see it all in my action bar on the bottom. I'll have it all laid out nice and neat for you so you can see exactly what we're up to. And I think that'll be a good way to go about it. So I'm going to get to work on that. And yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed themselves. And I will see everybody next time.